Hi, this is Becky Nunn with Nunn Design, and I'm at the studio here at Beadaholique, and I'm going to show you a fun project of how to make Itsy charms like these using rhinestone, cup chain, and ball chain. What you'll need for this video is a couple of little pieces of different types of rhinestone and cup chain and ball chain, a couple little Itsys, some crystal clay. I've already pre-mixed a small ball of the brown, and you'll need a pair of flush cutters. So the first step is designing how you want your Itsy charm to look. One of the things that I get a great deal of joy out of when I'm designing products is finding ways in which you can use the same piece in so many different ways. Here's an example. These pieces are designed to fit rhinestone chain like this, and then the smallest size ball chain along that side. So you would embed the rhinestone chain and then add that ball chain. It's also designed to work with the next size down and then 2 strips of the ball chain, or it's designed to do 2 strips of the small and 1 large. So there's all kinds of a variety of ways in which you could make little Itsy charms, but have each piece coming out differently. And why that's nice is if you're making a pile of earrings and you want to give them away as presents, your best friend doesn't have the same ones that your sister-in-law has. And that's always a nice little point. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make a little charm with this little piece right here. And I'm going to focus on using this ball chain, and 1 small little strip of this ball chain. So I have all my pieces ready. I have my clay ready. Before I start to embed anything, I'm going to go ahead and kind of design out my piece. So on this, I know that this is going to take about 4 of these little cups of this rhinestone chain. So I went ahead and trimmed it off. Let's see how that looks. Oh, hey, look, it can go that way too. How fun is that? Say we want it to go like that. Then, let's say we want to have some of this, and that's going to take about 3 balls of this ball chain. Lay that in there so you can see how that's starting to come together. And you can just keep on moving the pieces around. Maybe we don't like that there at all. Maybe we like something like that where we have another 3 on the bottom of this. You see how we're putting this together? And then maybe we put another 2 strands of this up on top. That one I cut a little bit too short, and if that's the case, don't worry. You can just go ahead and cut off another 2 balls and add it to that strip. And we'll add that in when we lay the crystal clay in. Okay, so now we kind of have a basic design, and you can take a lot more time than I did to find just the perfect amount of combinations that you want to have. So now I have my design, I have my bezel. I'm going to go ahead, clear all of that out of the way, and we're going to pinch off a tiny, tiny bit of the crystal clay. So I have already pre-mixed my clay, and I have 90 to 120 minutes to work with the crystal clay. So go ahead and pinch off that little bit and place it down into your Itsy. Now these Itsys are super Itsy, so it doesn't take much clay at all, and I have too much. So just go ahead and pinch off a little bit of that and start over. I have a tiny little ball. I press it into the base. And And then I'm going to do my best to get it over into those corners too. One of the reasons why I always like to pinch off the ball and then roll it in my palms like you saw me do is because it makes it so that there's not any creases in the clay. So there's not any lines in it. So you'll typically always see me roll my clay into a nice little ball and then pat it down into the clay. It's just much easier. Alright, so see I have my clay all in there, and I've kind of squished it over into the sides as well, into those little corners. And with my wet wipe, I'm going to go in and just clean up those sides. As I said, 90 to 120 minutes until this hardens. But when it hardens, boy howdy, it hardens. So you want to go ahead and clean off those edges so that cement isn't there when it's time for it to be all cured. Now we're ready to lay our pieces in. So we had one layer of this ball chain, and since we liked it more flushed and laid out, you kind of pull those pieces apart and then press it down in there. If you wanted it tighter, you can do that too. Then we have our next layer, which is the rhinestones. And if you had some tweezers or something like that, that might make it easier. That might be good. Or if you had a toothpick, that might be handy, because then you can move these pieces around in here. This little guy is stuck. So I just lifted him up, and now I'm laying him back in. Now we're going to do our next layer, third ball chain. This little crystal over here just is not working out with us. It wants to keep flipping over, so I'm going to go back in and just try to straighten that out. And then this last one. Now this is the one where we had some chain and then we cut it too short. Well, we didn't do it, I did. And now I'm going to go ahead and put this over there. And now I have it a little bit, no, that looks actually like a little bit too long, so I think I'm going to cut one more off. Or actually there was just a little bit of a thread in between there that was kind of hanging over. Still too long. But that's okay. That looks kind of cool. How it's kind of dipping down in there. Or you can just take that out and trim that extra little piece over. So there's all kinds of fun combinations you can make with this rhinestone ball chain combination within these Itsy tags. So your options are endless. So whatever you try to do, I'm sure it'll come out great. This is Becky Nunn with Nunn Design here at Beadaholique, showing you how to make Itsy charms with ball chain, rhinestone cup chain, and the Itsy pendants. Thank you.